Welcome to session 53 of Elohir's Sphere of Power campaign, based on the Desert of Desolation modules of the original classic first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So we have been out of action for a few weeks, taking a bit of a break for the summer, but I'm sure that a recap is absolutely in order. Anyone watching the videos, you'll probably remember everything from a few minutes ago, but for my players, they need a refresher, so here goes. Session 53, Hot Pursuit. It has only been 3 days since the companions arrived in the plush oasis of the White Palm, but while the sun has beat down relentlessly on the land above, the hospitality of the oasis has ebbed and flowed in response to the party's behavior and the events in which they find themselves caught up within. But it seems that today the group is about to enjoy a period of high regard as they ready themselves for a morning audience with Sheikh Qasim Aslan. Shortly after arriving at the oasis, bearing a message and medallion at a dying soldier's fervent behest, you learned of the recent perils and tribulations that have descended upon the Sheikh and his people. In addition to confirming the disappearance of the head of the Sand Voyagers Guild, news of which had spread to Bralazar even before you had left that town, the ordained bride-to-be of the Sheikh's firstborn son had also recently vanished, donning many a commoner with a veil of despair. But even more significant was the news that you brought, that the Ifrit that you had loosed in the ruins of Pazar had already wrought havoc and death in these lands. The life-giving waters of the river Athis had been recently restored and were beginning to reach as far north as the oasis, for which the party had been given due credit and gratuity. It nonetheless confirmed the truth of Martek's millennium-old prophecy and the realization that you may not be able to avoid your fated roles in the events to come. For now you have found what you believe to be the third star gem that was left behind by Martek, so that you might find his sphere of power. And if the prophecy is indeed true, possession of a third gem means that you are now the only ones who can do so. But for now, it seems, you have solved at least one of their problems, having found and rescued the missing guildmaster, Tolnus Granicus. You also have heard rumor that the missing princess may be held by Kalatarius himself in the crypt of Badr al-Mazak, but for reasons still unknown. It is reasonable to assume that the Ifrit identified her by the same method that has ordained the bride of the firstborn son of this tribe since at least the days of Martek, and when he first imprisoned this counselor of the Imperial Fire Sultan. These accomplishments to your credit, the audience with Sheikh Hassan should indeed be in good favor, barring the absence of more unexpected events or questionable behavior, for which the party has proven to have a knack for bringing forth. So welcome to session 53, my friends. Glad to have you. I think we
would
have
never do anything questionable. Definitely not the Goliath brothers.
Oh, no. Right down to your preferred fare of food.
Yeah.
I think our motto is becoming, well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
I like it. I definitely like it.
Okay, this is driving me nuts. Is the cricket in my house or is it in the feed?
I don't hear no
outside
cricket.
my fucking window. Yeah, it's weird who can hear it like mad loud sometimes. It's insane. But yeah, it's
I
outside
just
my
heard
window.
it while
It's
Matt
like
was
across
speaking.
the street.
Or did somebody get you one of those gag cards that's got a little stick-em on the side of it, and you pull the tab and it'll make a cricket sound every couple of minutes?
Yeah, it was. I'm like turning my volume up and down, trying to listen to Keith at the same time, going, "What? Where is this?"
All right. So I think we said enough of the stage. Hopefully I was able to tickle enough of your memory cells. Let me open it up to the party for any questions, or especially anything you would like to do with your characters before we proceed forward.
Cut that gem.
Right, we're still down in the underneath everything, right? Where all the shit happened? Or have we come up?
As far
On
as
the
I'm,
map, it looks like we're still in the room.
Right. That's what I was wondering, if I should get the map out.
There it is. Okay, so no one's claimed it yet. Now let's make sure we're talking about the right one here too, because let's see, no, not images, items, there we go.
Okay. I believe I have been carrying all the gems, all the
Yes.
star gems.
All right, except for the
And
most
that
so-
recent,
okay?
except for the most recent one is still currently in the party parcel list.
Well, I'm talking
Okay.
about the diamond that apparently has been being carried around for quite some time that you guys wanted to cut down for spell components.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right.
That was
so-
the point of the diamond, is to cut it down into smaller pieces so that we can consume them for things like revivify.
Oh, wait a minute.
And I just grabbed that
Oh,
enormous
you did?
clear
Okay.
crystal.
Okay.
Not to sidetrack too much, but did anybody see the critical role last week and this week?
No, I
I
have
have not
not
seen
kept up
this
with
week's
Critical
yet, but
Role.
I saw last week.
By about 10 minutes into this week, they had 3 people dead.
Dead?
Like not on death rolls, all dead.
Wow.
3 people. And they managed to work it out so they only ended up with 1 person dead by the end. They had 2 people had revivify. But yeah, and it got down to the last 6 seconds before they couldn't revive somebody. It was pretty crazy. It was just, yeah, it's a fun, if you watch the last half hour of last week's and then the beginning of this week's, it's just crazy the way the combat worked out. So anyways, yeah,
Man.
I was just like, oh my gosh, holy crap. So yeah, I agree. Make components for revivify, definitely.
Yes.
All right, so let's see. We have here a diamond that is worth 5,000 gold pieces. And what is the end value of the stones that you want? Target range?
300 is revivify.
I would say anywhere between 1 and 300.
Okay. So let's take a look and see how it goes. So first of all, you're obviously going to have to give some of it up to the person who tries to break it down into
Yep.
usable gemstones and not just rough hewn chunks.
Oh, good point. I don't
I
remember.
don't think so, but I do have experience to hand out. So hold on. Oh, wow. Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Oh, were we supposed to level up?
No, I don't think you're high enough to level up.
Okay.
You're gonna have to get through one more chapter to level up again. I do believe you guys all hit 7th just before you went into the Temple of Set.
Yeah.
So, um, all right. So, all right, I'm gonna have to write this down so I can keep track of it and not rely on the game to tell me this. All right. So let's see. just so you know what I'm going through here. So the first attempt at the pass was only wound up breaking it down into 5 stones. Interestingly enough, on that subsequent roll, out of 5 12-sided dice, you guys pulled off 2 10s, an 11, and a 12. So maybe that's a good sign for
Wow.
diamonds.
Nice. Nicely done. To whoever did that roll. Matt, I think I'm hearing your keyboard type.
I'm hearing
I'm
some
hearing
kind of
somebody's
clicking coming through.
keyboard.
Yeah, that's weird. Sorry about that.
It just sounded like a mild machine gun fire. So it was either you are, over in Ukraine and playing from there, or
Back.
so our time wise, are we doing a long rest? Are we back at the talking to the people? I sent a message to the boss guy to send people down or something, didn't I, last time?
Yeah, the his elite riders came over the air while we were going towards the town. They were coming back or something.
Right.
We ended up
Right. Yep. Okay, so we're definitely up top now at this point. We're not still down in the place. So cool.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
All right, so out of the cuts, you guys only lost 500 worth of value after you give him his share. You didn't quite get the breakdown that you want, but you do have 2 500 gold gems, 5 200 gold gems, 5 300 gold gems, and 5 400 gold gems.
Good for starters.
So you got
That's
10
good. Now,
gems. You got 10 gems within
anyone
the range that you wanted, and another 7 that are larger.
cool. Does anyone actually have Revivify? It just occurred to me, we can probably.
I don't.
I'm assuming that would be Feckish if anybody did. I don't
Have
think
we
it's even
learned
an
rest?
option.
Currently, but I would have to do research on that.
Okay.
It's a 3rd level spell.
Means I have access to it. I just don't currently have it in my repertoire.
Oh my gosh, Matt, that cricket is crazy.
Now I really hear it.
going ham.
I'm just thinking that's almost like when somebody tells a joke. You've got the fill in there.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I actually got to create an entry for each one of these diamonds now. All right, hold on.
You could just put it in the Discord and one of us could create it too.
Yeah.
That way, you've got bigger things to think about than that.
Yeah.
just-
If you just
You're right.
if you just put the list in Discord, I can make it on my inventory sheet and then drop it in the party sheet.
Okay, campaign play. So, all right. 2 times 500 G. Five. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Thank you much. That'll help. All right. So let's see, experience. All right, so there are two things that you guys do get. First of all, you found Tolnus and you survived. And he was able to report back to the Sheik, which gives you a huge amount of prestige. Not that we're measuring it, but relatively speaking, it's going to be noticeable. Let's see. And then you also found the third star gem, which regardless of which one it is, the amount is now significant because you now have more than half of the star gems. And it looks like that puts you still about 4,500 XP away from eighth level. It
all adds up somewhere.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yep.
But still, that was 19,000 experience that you guys just got. And I don't think we have anything outstanding. You got credit for the Dark Elves. Got credit for the guards in the prison quarters. Can anyone think of anything that I might be missing in terms of experience?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I think you owe the cat a barrel of milk and 5,000 platinum pieces.
Well, you do have plenty of coin. It hasn't even been distributed. I'd say at least 3,500, 4,000 worth of gold.
The
Those are the-
Goliaths can carry all of that gold.
Yeah,
Hmm?
plenty of inventory weight. We got plenty to carry that.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you still have the camels.
Yeah, but what if our gold camel runs off? I'd rather carry it. We'll split that 3,500 gold between the brothers, so nobody else is encumbered by
I'm
such
gonna
a
carry
burden.
it in my boot, like in the dog in Disney's Robin Hood. So as I go, it's like chink, chink.
I was gonna say, well, that depending upon your armor, that happens anyway. So
I was gonna say, yeah, like you're already kind of doing that, right? So now you've just got an extra chink.
Maybe I'll get like a
There we
beat
go.
thing, like
Go to the garage while I'm out weed whacking.
All right. I put the diamonds in the party sheet so our cleric can grab them.
All right.
It might also be on the paladin list too. I don't know.
yep,
the
it's paladin. I looked it up. It's
It is.
paladins and clerics.
I don't have access
Oh,
to
okay.
it
The spell. Gotcha.
The
I
wizard
don't
just fireball stuff. So if you want me to burn a body up, I can do that.
and I don't care about diamonds. I watched Adam Ruins Everything.
yet.
Blood diamonds.
Ah, thanks. Now got James Bond song stuck in my head. Diamond Forever.
All right. Is there anything else that we need to cover before we begin the audience with the Sheik?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We
All right.
probably need to remember what we're gonna say.
Yeah,
That's a good point. You
We
guys
gotta
might
let
that
them
want
might
know
be a good idea.
to have a
about the
party
big evil.
confab.
Yeah, before
we
the two
still haven't
Goliaths
sorted.
walk into the tent with this whole pompous "I told you so" attitude.
Yeah, let's remind ourselves of what we're going to say. So, and we have the head of the Sand Voyagers Guild is here to vouch for us.
You're presuming he's going to be present, but yeah, you don't quite know for
Yeah.
sure. You haven't walked into the audience yet.
Somebody's gonna have to be the face.
Yep.
It might be you, Maddie. I think.
Wouldn't that be a twist if we walked in and the head of the Sang Voyagers Guild accused us?
Oh man, shit's
Well,
going
it's
down
kind
if
of
he does that.
interesting that excluding the cleric, Maddie has like twice the charisma of everyone else.
Oh yeah, his.
Yep.
I remember his stat
That's
being
crazy.
like charisma.
No, it's only
And Fekish isn't exactly charming, but compared to the rest of the
14.
crew, hey, he's debonair.
That's crazy.
A very articulated lizard. What can I say?
Yeah. So it's Varric and Fekish going to talk to the Sheik.
As
That's
far as
the
I
plan.
go, am very blunt and rude, and Yosemite Sam a whole lot of the time just kind of bitch about everybody under my breath.
Okay.
Hmm.
or wink with the wrong eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were a total bitch. Wink.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So Varric and Fekish are in the front rank. The rest of you are following behind. Mizram, can I presume you're going to take human form for this audience?
I've been going around the camp at the cat, so it'd be best if I stay at the cat.
Okay.
Just in case they need emergency backup, because who expects the cat?
This is true.
Meow.
This is very true. And who
Besides the rest
and who
of
would
your
suspect
party,
the cat
or
of being the one responsible for the group?
Very true. Someone has to keep these shumis in line.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, what did you call me? Yeah, I think the brothers are purebloods, aren't you? All right. So you wake up the morning. Let's go ahead and share the calendar and stuff. No, cat, you cannot be over here right now. So needless to say, they like to get an early start before the heat of the day really becomes too oppressive, which you've become way too familiar with. You wake up probably around 7 a.m.-ish, shortly after dawn. You take care of your basic personal necessities. You guys all head over to the igloo for some morning breakfast, and finally head on over to the Sheik's grand tent in the center of the compound, just shortly before 8 a.m. And as you approach the compound, or sorry, as you approach the tent, you notice initially, a sparse amount, but by the time you reach the entrance of the tent, there seems to be quite a gathering of the local citizenry lining the way between, as you approach the main entrance. Though there are a few of the commoners amongst the group, it seems quite predominantly populated by members of the Sand Voyagers Guild, clearly delineating themselves by their garb or their guild crests as you grow closer. And they are cheering you. They are applauding your efforts. They apparently are very happy to have their guild master back. Some comments that sift through the crowd indicate to you that there was a rebellion brewing. They knew that they were being manipulated and are now happy to know that it was all the work of the slavers who had infiltrated them. A couple of the slavers actually were being held in the crowd they were bound on display for you, not necessarily like being hung from a gallows or anything like that, but they had their hands behind their back. You could tell that they were being restrained by larger individuals behind them. So presumably they are showing you that, that the slavers, that at least the ones they found, are going to face judgment. So you continue inside. Let's see. Make sure I get the names right again, because I don't want to mix them up. It's way too easy to do. Let's see. So Korga is present. No, sorry, Korga is not present. It's Nadron that's present. My apologies. And of course, Tulnus is there, and he's barely recognizable. He's cleaned himself up. He's obviously groomed himself a bit. He's wearing clothes that fit his stature. And he appears almost regal, certainly noble. Not more so than the Sheik himself, but he obviously comes across as a knowledgeable and highly respected member of this community. And certainly at this point, you have every reason to consider him more favorably than most of the others, especially Nadron and come on. No, not him. Chorus. There we go. And you happen to notice that Chorus is nowhere to be seen amongst the crowd, or at least not prominently.
Oh, interesting.
As you arrive, Sheik Hasim stands up and does a double clap, and everyone immediately silences up and faces your direction. And he raises his arms wide and gesture towards you in graciousness and says, "Welcome, my friends. I am pleased to have you here before my court today. My tribe owes you much gratitude for the services that you have rendered, and I cannot thank you enough for returning my friend and confidant Tornus back to our service. His departure from the Sand Voyagers Guild has caused much strife within the Oasis, and with his return, I see better days ahead for us. Now we can only hope that the return of our princess is dearly imminent. What, may I ask, can I do for you in return?"
We didn't really talk about this, guys.
Let's start with breakfast.
You had breakfast.
Food. Oh, we did.
What
Yeah, I
about
said
second
you went to
breakfast?
Happy Hogan's Igloo, and you actually
Yeah,
had
Levinson's.
free breakfast, among the better ones.
Oh,
You guys run out of spider legs already?
Oh, isn't it?
But there were no spider legs, but it certainly was better than a Motel 6 sit down.
True that.
sweet.
At least
I agree
Marriott quality,
Yeah.
maybe even Hilton.
Well, group question before we start talking to Sultan. Do we have any intentions of going back down there? Do we want to see if he wants to supply some extra hired hands to help us flush out the rest of the evil?
Well, and there's that big evil down
Yeah,
there.
there's the evil part. We definitely got to go check that out.
I was gonna say, if anybody else doesn't, I know that Maddie's character really does.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's bad news. We got to handle that. And we didn't want to handle it before because we needed the rest. So we're rested. But definitely guards should be posted on entrances to the obelisk or beneath the obelisk. So
Can
people
offer our
can get in there.
to say, hey, we're more than willing to go down there, but we need to make sure that there's protections from anybody else trying to get down there. Maybe if he wants to send one of his cronies to give us a hand.
Find out where Chorus is. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
we
struggling
can
to
go
remember
through the banter
too.
back and forth, but I will point out that there are quite a few slavers in the crowd, as I said, that are being held on display or are probably potentially in line for trial by the Sheik. You'll find out through conversation, if you haven't already heard rumor, that pretty much the air lancers were sent down right after you came up with Tolnus. The extent of what they've done, how much of the runes they've actually discovered may be up for legitimate question, but basically they've already gone down there and cleared out all of the slavers and the cultists.
So we could just go down and handle the big bad evil, big monster.
We could, but Kaoli is still insisting that nasty evil is not something we should be messing with.
How close it is to these people.
Well, and I was gonna say, if I remember, Matt's character is not going to walk away from that, not just being, but his
Yeah.
his character archetype is not going to let him walk away. I don't know. I guess that's your call, Matt. But I thought that's what we had said before.
Yeah, right. That's why I am concerned with how close it is to people. It's only a matter of time before the cultists are back down there fucking shit up again.
I will point out one point of reminder, which would be relevant to the paladin's consideration. And again, this is only what you've deduced, so you don't know this is fact, but you suspect it to be true. That portal or that area is a portal to another dimension, a dimension or plane where evil is at home. That being said, you have no reason to believe at this point that it is a two-way portal. Which means
So
if
let
it
you
does
go
not
there, but-
provide, there's two issues there. One, if it does not provide entry to this world, it does not pose an immediate threat. And there's also the possibility that going through it one way will open it back up again.
Right.
Or open it up in
Okay.
the other direction.
Well, there
then
was the hole in the floor, but wasn't there also an evil behind a door?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what we're talking about. That's the big evil.
Yeah. Yeah, but there was the hole in the floor, also the red circle or whatever on the map. And is that what we're talking about, or is it the door itself is a portal?
Nope.
They are valid questions. Absolutely.
I don't know how to mark a spot on the map.
Want me to bring up the map so you guys can
Struggle. Jim, you're talking about the red circle on the map? No, if you go to the right, between where the rooms are to the right of the circle and the staircase in the middle of those, there's a doorway to the north
That we
has a
haven't
big
opened.
Right, and I'm wondering, is that actually a portal, or is that a door with evil behind it? That's the question I have.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's definitely a viable question, which may or may not have been answered by the others.
Okay, so we at least got to tell the sheik to keep fucking people out of there. Nobody goes down there. Brick it off, whatever needs to be happened, destroy it. You know.
Bad
Inquire
motive.
about chorus.
Yep. And I'll keep my mouth shut, I promise.
All right, so this does get sensitive. So what exactly are you saying about chorus or asking?
Just inquiring about his whereabouts.
The sheik looks down for a moment, then seems to catch himself. Regrettably, my son has not been seen since the events that transpired of yesterday. We are still awaiting his return and hope he has not been caught up in these events. And you can tell he has a hesitation. He's not sure which side. He doesn't want to be blind, but at the same time, he doesn't have anything direct to accuse him of yet.
I might not have been able to hold back a grunt right there, like a sorry. And I look away.
Absolutely appropriate given your charisma. And the sheik does indeed raise an eyebrow at you, but makes no further response or action.
And I'm not making eye contact because couldn't help myself, but I'm ashamed for the rest of the group. At least I have some compassion to their whatever. Like, sorry.
Ooh. Hold on 1 second. Would that be no, not that. No, not that.
I just saw that.
Where are you? There you are.
1,000 experience points if you kill that cricket.
Personally awarded by Albie. All right, so let's see. Mizram, Kael'li, Redreth, and Haig. All right, so the four of you, while this discussion is going on, do happen to notice that Hassan is biting his lip.
Hassan is the other brother or no?
Yes,
Yeah.
standing next to his father, or should say seated next to his father. And somewhat behind, but not much.
I promise not to say anything.
So after,
Okay,
you know,
sorry. I was just delaying response because we had a police car driving by. The siren was really loud. Who of it? Basically, it was everybody except for Fekish and Varric saw him biting his lip. Is that what you're saying?
no, everyone, yeah, you're right. Everyone except for Fekish and Varric.
How are we arranged in this room? Are we all? I assume those two stepped forward, and the rest of us are behind a little bit,
Yep.
and they're kind of up on a, however they arrange themselves on the cushions or whatever they use to. I don't know if they're standing or if they're sitting or how this is.
Well, most of the people in the crowd are absolutely standing around, basically on two sides of the walkway or open space within the tent. It's not a huge tent. Well, it is a huge tent, but it's a tent, and it's certainly not a circus tent. So you've got groups of probably about 40 or 50 people on each side within the tent. And towards the front of the tent is a platform. That's probably about 5 foot wide and 12 feet wide and about 5 feet deep. And there are 3 large pillows on there. And so there's one pillow in front and then 2 more, one to the left and one to the right, both slightly behind the main pillow, which is where the sheik sits. And Hassan is sitting on the one, the other one is empty, which is why it's obvious that Chorus is not around. And when he gets off the pillow, he steps down onto the ground. He doesn't step up on the platform. So Hassan is still seated on his pillow and basically about the same height as his father, who is standing addressing the crowd. And the whole front area is on a slight dais. So the sheik is slightly elevated, but maybe, 1 step up, 2 at most. So does that explain the layout?
Yeah. So if Redreth is standing, am I at the same head level as Hassan as he's sitting? Is he high enough up, or would I, if I were to go over to talk quietly with him, would I squat down so that I'm sitting at the same level?
You
Or
would not
is
be
his-
able to get to him easily because he's up on the pedestal that's up on the dais, number one.
Okay.
Not to mention on each side on the dais, but on each flank of the pedestal are standing different counselors, representatives like Nadron or
Okay.
let's see who else.
I was mostly curious if I could talk to him without basically shouting out for the entire room.
No, you would not be able to approach him
Okay.
unobserved in this situation unless you were a master of stealth and crawling around underneath tables and pedestals.
I would make sure that that Kael'li saw that. I'm sure you did, but just
Mhm.
motioning to that Hassan seems to know something, and I'm not sure if we, and just kind of whisper, I'm not sure if we want to bring it up here with everybody listening or wait until after this is done and talk.
Well, I think it's
Then,
safe to presume that upon noticing that and knowing that Kaeli is the one that is most principal in the party for noticing the subtle, you probably glance over at her and she glances over at you and there's a knowing nod that, yeah, I saw that too. And your wisdom is going to tell you, Redreth, that if a conversation is warranted or sought, now is not the time to do it with it.
but also remember, Redreth is intelligence. I would have to look at my thing to see where my wisdom's at.
Now your wisdom's not bad. You're not dumb.
Okay,
Your charisma's bad, but your wisdom ain't. It's
right.
certainly better than your strength.
You're smart but homely.
Intelligence is to know what to do. The wisdom is to know whether to do it or not.
More
For
often
sure.
than not,
Right.
but certainly not predominantly. So with that being said, so yes.
Haig's wisdom is not super high.
All right, so yeah, there's not going to be an easy approach to them. There are several other people on the dais that are not seated on the pedestal. To answer the other question, I'm not sure, I think it was Jim that asked, but again, the dais provides about a 1 or 2 step elevation above the rest of the crowd. And the pedestal allows those seated to be on the same head height as those who are standing on the dais. So yes, anyone that is up on the dais, whether seated or standing, is going to have their head about 2 hands higher than the rest of the crowd. The other people that are up on the platform with them include Sothel, who is standing right next to the platform. That's the Sheik's slave girl that you recognized, who you guys had a small conversation with early on. She does seem to be a loyal person, and not entirely subservient. Nadron is there, as I mentioned. We mentioned that Chorus is not. Tolnus is there. I don't see him there. And ooh, let's see.
While they're talking,
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna do
okay.
one more check of something.
Lots of dice.
All right, in this case, only Kaeli and Fekish make this observation. And Kaeli, since you have rolled successfully in this case, I can ask you, have you encountered the minstrel yet? Or has the party encountered the minstrel yet?
Does not sound familiar.
Okay, so you do not recognize, but happen to observe, and like I said, Fekish also happens to notice this, though this is not as an obvious of a thing, but there does seem to be a member in the crowd who is unusually handsome, exceedingly handsome. He seems rather charismatic, just even in standing there without even having to say anything. And you notice quite quickly that he has a lute over his shoulder, which leads you to the conclusion, though perhaps not correct, that he is probably a bard and therefore lore collection, so to speak. This is obviously an important event. A lot of people are gathered, and he's probably.
I thought you meant that he had loot, L-O-O-T.
No.
Like, wait, what?
No.
L-U-T-E.
Lute, L-U-T-E, a musical instrument.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. So, yes, the man with the lute seems unusually handsome and, is obvious, carrying a lute. I say, oh, I guess so. The occasion is significant enough to even draw bards. So, you and Fekish happen to notice this person in the crowd. But at this point, after a few moments of awkward silence and lip biting, the sheik looks up to, I guess, Varric at this point. And he now looks with a slightly more humility in his eyes, not subservience or placation, but at least a little bit of humility as opposed to authority. And he concedes, my friends, I must now ask you one more favor, if I may. Given your success with finding Tolnus and enabling us to rid us of the purge of the slavers in our fine community, will you help save us and help find our princess? Shadala is lost, and we know that she is still alive because the mark has not yet reappeared. And he grasps his amulet at his chest as he continues talking. We pray that you would help us find her so that we can restore the peace and safety of our oasis and ensure its continuity. Now, I will point out at this point, you have not, as I mentioned in the entry notes, you have heard rumor about where Shadala is being kept and who has her. You have not shared this with any of the sheik or his advisors, consultants, guards, etc. So, if you choose to do so, now would probably be the right time to do so.
Or would it be
Can we
better
tell him?
to simply promise to say we won't rest until she is brought back safely, and not give? I wouldn't feel comfortable giving that information.
I'll
crowd
tell you what, guys. I am being beckoned by the animals, so you guys got about 5 minutes. You can talk it out and how you want to handle that discussion. I'll be right back.
Okay. I am going to recommend that we simply accept the task.
I agree. I don't think we should give away the information, especially not with a big crowd of
sure.
people around. You have no idea who could be on what side.
Exactly. So what we should be doing is simply accept the task.
With some sort of we will not rest until she is brought back safely, or something like that.
Yeah, the fact that we already have knowledge to further the quest, he doesn't need to know that. He's already asking.
Yeah, that's.
Anyway.
Maybe we could bump up the reward. Just saying.
I think we're headed that direction already. So if we just accept, we accept. He's not giving us a timeline, but I think we need the other 2 gems before we go that direction, don't we?
No, but
possible.
we are more likely to succeed if we have all 5.
Right. So I don't think we're go there just yet. I think we have to. I think it's at least worth trying to figure out where the other 2 gems are.
Yeah. But we should simply accept the quest and not make any mention of the fact that we think we know roughly where she is and who has her. That's not information that he needs to have right now. And just say that we will do everything we can to bring her back safely.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That just seems to make the most sense to me.
I think we are also in a position to request things. Like this is also the time where if he can help us out with, magic carpets or the such, like this now would be the time to ask for something for him to help.
Honestly, even more so than that, especially after watching that Critical Role thing. I think getting us some sort of a way to resurrect or revivify or something like that, especially if we're going someplace really dangerous, would be a really good idea.
And he has that super loyal cleric. If we were to ask, a little something extra, that now would be the time to ask, since everybody's happy with us.
I don't know what we do with the flying. Like, we can't use a flying carpet. It's
No,
a big ass carpet.
You, Alan, we can't. I mean, I'm not being serious about the magic carpet, but
Oh, okay.
But it'd still be
Uh,
have.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
like, that's kind of fucking cool if we had like a big ass magic carpet that one of us could fly
Uh,
on.
I was looking forward to the two Blythe brothers with a hand rally to a race, singing a whole new world together.
having a third person that can fly. Or no, wait, do you have anything where you can fly yet, Miz? In your wild shape?
Not quite yet. I think I'm still a little bit low level.
Gotcha.
I think I might either need to be level 8 or 10. I can't remember. Let me pick up the player hand guide. It's right next to me. I should look.
Well, I mean, if they did have one, that would be sweet because then half of the party could fly next level. But I think that's like a super rare item.
Yeah, I don't expect them to have
Well,
any such thing.
we could pick up a boots of flying. They're common item if I remember correctly.
Winged boots for the Goliath brothers.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
give a whole new meaning
So then
to
we have-
twinkle toes.
That's not going to work very
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
if we can
Dan.
only-
Yeah, Dan, if Vecna can get him, you could probably get him too, right?
I don't talk about it.
Dan's having flashbacks to our one shot that we did that turned into a 4 or 5 shot to try and kill Vecna.
without saying his name.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody kept taking damage. They couldn't figure out why at first.
Druid don't get flying to level 8.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I'm all for just getting gold. You know, give us a dope tent.
I think the healing, the idea about getting healing and resurrection would be a good idea.
I need to get a ring of silenced cricket. If we ever have the opportunity to get a cricket in a jar in game, we need to. Because you want
Why?
to talk about distraction?
I don't even fucking hear it until you say something.
I mean, what is it? Have you got the window open? Is it outside, or is it somehow
Yeah.
got in the house?
No, it's outside. Like, it's not around my house. When I go outside, I can still hear it, and it's not close to me. Like, it's across the street.
As loud as we hear it, that
It's
thing's got to be as big as the
across the
freaking.
street.
I
wow.
know, dude.
Do you know
It's
what?
fucked how loud it's coming through.
I would laugh if some evil bugger had put a microphone right next to cricket in a glass. Yes.
Well, with how loud that sound is, it's like a cricket the size of a rat or something.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a big ass cricket. It's got to be.
Do you know what? I laugh if you just look over next door neighbour's fed. It's just some guy in a cricket suit just making sound effect noise.
Oh,
So yeah, see if so the goal will be to accept the quest or re-accept the quest. I thought he already asked us to do that. But then see if we can get either any items that might have the ability for resurrection, revivify, or something along those lines, because what we're doing is dangerous, or something that could allow us to travel faster.
or both.
Or both.
Right. Sounds good.
And I would suggest not requesting a treasure payment just act as though those items are enough.
I agree.
Even though some of us are just in
Yeah.
it for the money, at this point, we need to at least make a show of not being in it for the money.
Right, we're riding goodwill right now, so let's not
Yeah,
trash that.
yeah, let's not sour that.
So that means those of us with low charisma need to shut our yappers, pretty much.
Why do you think I stay in cat form? You can never go wrong with a simple meow.
That's true.
And the only ones who will know what you mean are those who speak cat.
That is very true.
And even then, they may or may not properly interpret your talking.
Okay, I am back, gang.
Welcome back.
Sorry for the delay.
Have we,
All
or
right.
have we long rested yet?
Oh, yeah. I probably should trigger that, so give me a moment. Let's see, combat tracker.
So we as a group
That
have
means-
decided, so we as a
Everyone
group
get a
have
bunch of
decided that
errors
we
just
are, as a group, we've all decided that we're just gonna leave these missions and go back to the Forgotten Realms.
now.
Head back to the Sword Coast.
We're
and see
going
what
back
we
to
can
the Sword Coast.
find. Exactly. No, just kidding.
I'm getting a bunch
I mean,
of
that
errors.
is always an option, is just to give up and say, never mind, and just go home.
Screw the princess, we're out of here.
Right.
Getting home, on the other hand, is not going to be so simple.
Exactly.
This is
That's a
true.
bit
You
of a-
are quite a ways away. And I don't think
Yeah.
anyone's learned teleportation at that range quite yet, but maybe you can find a shortcut through that portal.
There we go.
Yeah.
Plane shift will get us to the right place, right?
All right, so now that the party has had a chance to discuss it out of real time, how does the party respond to the Sheik's request?
Of course, we will accept the quest and return the princess.
And the crowd erupts in great cheers and toasts and what seems to be splashes of beer and ale, as people are hitting their mugs together and it's splashing all over the place. So obviously they're really happy and stoked on you guys. So
Isn't it-
prestige ranking goes up.
Isn't it morning?
Yes, it is. It's very early morning.
Oh yeah, they're getting down.
And let's
I'm
not get
looking at
let's not get
everybody drinking
judgmental
beer.
on the culture now.
Yeah.
No, I think Haig was just asking, does he need to refill his coffee or his beer?
And
Yeah.
let's face it, we all know the perils of drinking in the heat of 110 degrees. Now's the perfect time to be drinking in that climate.
Very true.
Is there ever a bad time for beer? Yeah.
We did a long rest, so let's see, Fakish, you healed your 5 points and I healed my 1 point.
I did not realize that I was still down.
Yeah, you guys were still recovering from those from that dark elf battle. That was pretty significant. I'd say that was probably your most challenging battle to date.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure Park went down a couple times, at the very least.
That was-
And the Goliath, but the Goliath brothers did get some freshly roasted spider out of it.
no.
So
If
Oh,
I may
yeah.
correct myself, the pet fist was at the same challenge rating as that battle.
Hmm.
When you guys took out Munafik.
yeah,
The monk.
Remember him?
the guy at the top of the stairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those were both
Sigh.
CR10s.
Yeah.
And actually, you got more experience for a Munific than you by 300 points than you did for the Dark Elf Cave. So, but pretty damn close. And if I remember right, yeah, the Munific and that fist were pretty formidable. You guys didn't come out of it unscathed.
No, we were definitely in need of some rest.
And with the favor of the Sultan, at the party's behest, we, Fekish and Barak will ask for perhaps scrolls or the like of resurrection, so that if one of us falls, we can maintain our quest.
Or at least revivify.
Yeah.
With something to bring us back.
So, in response to that request, the Sheik motions wordlessly to Nadron, and Nadron evinces a hint of apprehension, if not disdain, initially, but seems to acquiesce to the Sheik's nonverbal insistence.
Don't I have a golden statue of something?
I don't know, do you?
That we took from
So
One of those
Nadron then does bow and says, I will need until nightfall before I will have such ready.
all right.
And the Sheik nods at him in reserved approval.
We should check out the bazaar again and see if we can drift through and see if we can if we're get offered any hidden stash or select items or discounted wares, if we're going to have the day to shop before we leave.
I thought you guys did pretty good on your last shopping session.
We did.
Yeah, we did really well on our last shopping trip.
I mean, I kind of want to find more of these star gems and go kill a freak.
I mean, I mean, if you get any more by shopping, I may have to just start adding to the challenge ratings of all these encounters by default. Hey, Albie,
Yes.
do you need to be walked through how to clear out your wounds?
Yes, please.
All right, so open up your character sheet.
Yep.
And then just click inside the box under wounds where it says 5 and just replace it with a 0.
Bottom center of the main tab.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, I don't see the same view that you guys do, unfortunately. If you look at the screen, the shared screen, we'll see.
Well, I just cleared it out, so I guess I'm good. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
It's gone.
Yep. All right then.
All right, so you are renewed,
Invigorated.
renewed and imbued. Just don't go in the nude. Sorry.
Oh, come on. Nudism can be fun.
Yes, it can be. Depends on the situation. In front of the Sheik's audience, probably not recommended.
Although my charisma is pretty high, he may dig it. Who knows?
Yeah, you're at the point where it'd probably be more appealing than disheartening. Now, that being said, we certainly don't want Haig to go in the nude.
For sure.
He'd probably scare the little ones and cause half of the women to pass out.
Swooning for all the wrong reasons.
I got a
because
few
of the-
ideas running in mind, but I don't need to elaborate them for a recorded call.
Wise choice.
All right, so
Uh,
let's see. Has everything been covered here? Everyone's enjoying beer. The Sheik has made his request of you. You guys have made your request. And Nadron's indicated that he'll need until this evening or nightfall in order to have something ready for you.
And Kaoli is starting to seriously look for an exit where she doesn't have to pass all of the people.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of tough. You're going to kind of have to endure some admiration for a little bit.
She's definitely very uncomfortable with all of this attention and from all of these people all at the same time. It's definitely yeah, it's getting close to, you know, full on anxiety attack, and she's getting ready to bolt. And those of you who have traveled with her long enough will recognize that. That yeah, she's about ready
Okay,
to
she got
bolt
some
or
common emotions
explode or something.
because she's got all the star gems. Just saying.
That's right, I do. Oh my. Yeah,
Or just keep an eye on
pretty-
Kaoli with a whole person ready.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that Kaoli is just done with this audience and all of the people and just ready to go. And she's actually starting to shift towards the edges.
All right, so you head on out. Kaylee does her best to stay in between the rest of the party. And I would presume most of you will help provide her with some buffer room, having come to
Sure.
appreciate her disdain for public displays. And certainly the Goliaths don't have to do much more than hold their breath to make an impression.
Yeah.
Well, Var's telling them they should try eating spiders and things like.
Well, for those who have seen you do that, that certainly adds to the mystique for sure. But yeah, given your general girth and hardness of your skin, most people give you wide berth.
Nice.
Yeah, brushing up against you is like, you know, falling up against a granite wall.
Nice.
And woe to the person who thinks that they can strong arm you. Probably end up with a broken wrist without you doing anything more than flinching. All right, so you head on out, back to your tent, back to your camels, or straight to the bazaar?
I say to the camels.
What if we
Sword
were
and fruit.
To the back cave.
All right, so you head back to
Now I had to go help my team get the Oculus running for him. So I missed a little bit of the conversation, but are we going and dealing with the evil in the basement first, or are we going off hunting after the princess?
We're going shopping.
Yeah, the evil in the basement is a possible portal that we might open. So we decided
We
against.
don't know. We don't know
What
which
could go
direction
wrong?
the portal goes, and
Okay. So we're going shopping. Perfect.
I will.
To quote my 6-year-old, I like shopping.
Well, some of you are going shopping. Some of us are just going to go find some greenery in which we can attempt to hide.
Sounds good.
I will
thought you were
point
gonna
out
say
one.
smoke.
I will point out one last bit of observation as you head on out. You know, the crowd bows to you as you head out. There's obviously a deep degree of respect amongst those who have gathered. in appreciation. Some are throwing flowers, and a couple have even offered you beers, which I presume at least a few of you have taken in hand and welcomed.
Absolutely.
But you can tell as you walk out, first of all, the crowd is not dissembling. They are not leaving the audience. And indeed, you see as you step out of the tent, a group of the air lancers bringing in one of the slavers in bonds, presumably to begin the judgment or the trials of those that are there. And you can see a few more, at least a half dozen, are lined up outside the tent, awaiting their turn. And as you walk further away, you gradually, perhaps a little more quickly than not, hear the cadence of the crowd shift from cheers and applause to boos, and you hear the breaking of some items like glass or pottery on the ground or whatnot. So who knows, could be on one of their heads for all you know. You're far enough away, but definitely the timbre of the crowd shifts with your departure.
Are they going to be executing these people like publicly?
Quite probably.
Who knows what judgment is rendered in this community? That could be a possibility. Could be
Vark might stick
imprisonment.
around.
And I want to stick around too. I want to know if the interrogations involve any questions about chorus.
Agreed.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to go shopping, Hank. So yeah, I wasn't
The
shopping.
that sounds good. The wizard has
Well,
lost
we
interest
can
in the
do a split up
proceedings.
here. There's no reason why one or two of you can't infiltrate back into the crowd. Though Kaoli would be likely to be most successful at doing so. We understand her aversion.
Isn't
Yeah,
the rule always
honestly-
split the party?
Always.
Always.
At every opportunity.
Honestly, Kaoli is interested in knowing what's happening in the tent, but she is not going to go back in. She might find a place to listen, or even take a peek under if she can find.
With the throng of the crowd, you're pretty self-assured that you're going to have to be inside the tent amongst the crowd if you're going to glean anything more than crowd response.
Yeah, Vark
Okay.
will totally offer his services and assistance with any interrogations or executions.
Yeah, I would
If she saw
suspect,
fit to.
Alex, I would suspect in this case, without playing too much of a DM overwarden, that Kaoli feels confident enough that anything that's important enough can be relayed by at least one of your companions, in the interest of getting out of this crowd and
getting out of the crowd and finding preferably
solace.
finding some greenery to relax in is
well, I
most
will
important
remind
to
you,
her
this
right
is
now.
an oasis. And given the recent restoration of Athos along its course parallel to the oasis itself is comparatively undisturbed at the moment. And it is surrounded with some rather lush
Good.
palm trees of varying heights. There's actually, I don't want to quite call it grass, but it's like and I don't want to call it a lichen either because it's way too dry out here, but kind of like an ice plant, if you're familiar with them.
Okay.
So, you know, they're succulents, but they're not spiky, and they're actually quite soft to step and walk on and lie on.
Okay.
And usually provide a very thorough ground cover.
Yeah, I'm just finding a nice quiet green spot to just kind of sit and meditate.
As a matter of fact, you find the ice plants unusually cool because of their water content. They absorb the coolness of the night, and so it takes a while for them to pick up the heat of the day. So it's an unusually cold spot to be lying down in at this time of the day.
Okay.
You may find that appreciative. You may decide it's a little too cold for you. But I'd say it's probably like lying down on a 50-degree mattress in an 80-degree, 90-degree day.
Okay. Yeah, mostly just trying to get away from all the people and back into nature because nature is important.
I won't disagree. All right, so your ranger has absconded to find some solace. That leaves the remainder of you. So as I understand it, are you all going to wait around? The rest of you all going to wait around, or are we going to go? Some of you focus on shopping while others listen in.
Shopping.
Yeah, I would, Varric would
Absolutely.
suggest that
All right,
Haig
so who's
should
staying
stay with the
behind to
wizard.
listen to the testimonies?
I shall.
I would
The
love
wizard
Varric.
is absolutely not staying behind.
Okay,
He's going
so
shopping.
that was Fekish and Varric.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. I'm talking with Varric before I go, getting his shopping list and
Yes,
making sure that
some potions.
I'm gonna go shopping for us and let him know that I'm very interested to see if they press the course issue or if they.
Yes.
Not sure if you intended to hit mute mid stride there, but I think you just finished your sentence. All right, so we've got Redreth and Haig going shopping at the bazaar back in the Sand Voyagers compound. We have Varric and Fekish staying in the crowd. Fekish is going to be a little hard for you to hide, obviously. So,
Not trying.
but
Yeah,
that being
I would-
said, you could provide a perfect distraction. Well, actually, yeah, both of you can't really hide that well, but that
I was
being
gonna say,
Varric would offer his assistance to the Sheik if any interrogations or executions need to occur.
Yeah,
He would
absolutely.
gladly.
All right,
act in
so
the
yeah, you
Sheik's
guys
will.
aren't going to be. We're not going to presume that you're hiding or melding back into the crowd.
There's
no.
no for us to hide at this point. We're
Greeted by more cheers
Celebrity,
as the
aren't we?
people are throwing tomatoes at the slavers. I'll throw.
Well, the ones that you are closest to as you go back into the tent, recognize you, and there are some that are anxious to engage in conversation, but the predominant focus of the moment certainly are the slavers that are being brought in for treason, sedition, usurpation, murder, worshiping. Oh, and of course, worshiping other than Anu, which is no here.
Right.
So, yeah, and that means also, and the cultists, they're not being accused of much else other than false worship, but still they're in some pretty hot water.
Crucifixions. I've
You
got
will
hammers.
you will
I'm
be
just saying.
disappointed to learn that other than the most extreme offenders, they are being pretty much sentenced to hard labor, which in this desert heat, yeah, I don't know. I think execution might be preferable.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I take it.
Mining at 110-degree heat, swinging a pickaxe and trying to break rocks and whatnot, doesn't work very well unless you're a dwarf, and none of them are. Let's see. Mizram, where are you going in this event? Are you heading back to camp with Kaeli or to the tent with
Right.
Kaeli, or are you going shopping, or are you going to also collect some information?
I will probably shadow Kaoli just to watch her back just in case she needs just diversion or anything.
Okay. All right, so you two are basically gonna sit out. Redreth and Haig, which vendors are you looking for? Or you just want to do a basic browse?
basic browse, but specifically looking for at the potions guys table, carpet, whatever.
Okay. All right, so becoming of some importance over there. The first thing you notice as you approach the vendor stalls, you're welcomed by the Sand Voyagers. I mean, they're practically bowing to you at this point. They're really happy to have Tolnus back. So, they welcome you into the compound. The guards, offer, on one hand, they're like, if you need any help, just let us know. But then, those who have to take a double take, look at the Goliath, look at the mage and kind of realize that, Yeah, as backup, maybe, sure, okay, if you need us, but yeah, just let us know if we can help. The vendors, you notice a slight difference in tone. What you would call earlier suspicions of vendors that are questionable seem to be confirmed by the fact that those are the same ones that are not engaging you, but most of the other ones recognize you, are toasting you. Some are offering you, hey, is there anything in particular I can help you with? And so we'll focus on the potion vendor in a moment. Coming back to the audience that's going on back in the Sheik's tent. So the first thing that you guys will notice is that though you had hoped, and probably will not recall because this was only mentioned in passing, but this, who you believe to be the head of the slavers, is not there. They apparently did not capture him. But there did seem to be a few of his underlings that were captured, and they confirmed his name as being Thurnus Netmaster, and seem to suggest that, well, for the most part, they all are pretty insistent on the idea that he disappeared during the raids that ensued through the Sand Voyager compound and the Cultist compound to weed them all out. However, there was one who suggested the possibility that he may have returned to Bralazar. Other than that, there's not much information about him. None of the slavers that are being questioned recognize anything when Korga's name is mentioned. They certainly don't bring him up. They do recognize him as being one of the Sheik's sons and a prince of the Oasis, but nothing that you hear seems to suggest that they had any suspicion of him directly. Or correction, maybe some suspicion, but not any involvement or engagement or anything that confirmed that he was involved in any of the slaver activities. The same cannot be said of the cultists. And when information starts becoming direct, not that there was a lot of it, because the Sheik kind of shuts it down. He doesn't quiet them, but he, at least to Fekish and Fekish and Varric, he redirects the question. And tries to take focus off of any potential involvement of his son in violating the law of the one God. So could be, needless to say, that could be just, paternal protection. It could be that there are indeed more important matters in the state right now, especially since he is not the one set to inherit the throne. And there are a number of possibilities that run through your mind, but you would suspect from an unbiased perspective, which for the most part you guys are, other than your previous dealings with him, that there is still good reason to believe that he is involved with the cultists and perhaps is being harbored by them or has left the Oasis altogether. And that, I think, pretty much quantifies what you guys would pick up of relevance to the trials themselves. They do ask about the Princess Shadala. And one of them actually does reveal that they had heard that Kalatarius has kidnapped her, which elicits a huge response of, the loud but hushed gasp from everyone. That's like, oh my gosh, what does he want with her? And certainly you can hear everyone muttering in the crowd. It's like, why would he want her? And how could he have found her if we can't find her? And yada yada. And wait a minute, he wasn't released. We didn't think he was released when the princess disappeared. And so all kinds of questions and stuff going back and forth.
I don't know if anybody heard, but even the cricket was subtly affected.
Yes, I did. Subtly? Was it a subtle impact?
Well, it only chirped twice, so.
Oh, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't something more direct, like you finally found it and killed it. And that was its, last dying gasp, but. Now. Amongst the conversations that ensue there. Before, the Sheik is able to restore order. Hold on 1 second. God damn you idiots. Not you, but the people who failed to edit this module properly. I hate it when they give a direction and the true direction is completely the opposite. And I have to wonder, is that meant to be misinformation or is it an editing mistake?
And usually the answer to that question is yes.
Yes, on both counts. And of course, now that I've brought it up, it just lends even more intrigue to your own considerations of what I'm about to tell you, which I think plays in perfectly. Yeah, okay, so. And. Aha. So, as the questions start rising up amongst the crowd and you can hear the level of panic, not overflowing, but definitely waxing, the minstrel pipes up above all the crowd and shouts a question to the Sheik. Then tell us, good Sheik, where will we find the good that will take on this evil and help us free the princess? And the Sheik looks back at him with raised eyebrows. And you suspect he knows what he's talking about when he asks him, of which do you speak, good minstrel? I'm sorry, I missed his accent. And the minstrel responds that, Martek left your ancestors a great gift. To them was given the knowledge of where the great good sleeps, to be loosed when the evil came. Where is that, so that he may be freed? And Sheikh Kasim responds back, that is privy only to me and my kin. I shall not reveal that in a public setting. The right you may be, I thank you for reminding me of this ancient knowledge, and I will discuss it with my advisors.
Varric will look at Fekish during this and be like, do we tell them about being like Martek's fucking people and shit?
Probably not publicly, but it might be not a bad idea to be part of that discussion.
I mean, 'cause that's a bit more prestige with everybody here. If we're just like, listen, we're already fucking doing all this. Chill the fuck out. We've got you.
Well,
You're
Yeah,
freaking beer.
but I don't
keep in
think he wants
mind, you are
no.
given credit for, and most of the Oasis does know that you are responsible for restoring the River Athos. That's
Right.
quite a feather in your cap already. Now, whether or not restoring the river is part of the prophecy and how many people know that, that's a much different question.
And I think if the wording in there was the sleeping great good, so maybe we're not. Maybe there's another A to help us.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily the great good. Maybe we're supposed to awaken the great good.
Right.
So I could maybe we should say to the Sheik that perhaps sharing with those you have sent on a mission to save the princess, it'd be a good idea to share this information with us, where this great good is, and counsel with us
Are you
as well as your
saying this out loud in front of the crowd, or are you just discussing
Not
this
yet.
with? Yeah, okay, just between the two
Yeah.
of you.
just with Fekish, like, should I at least be like, hey, you want us to find the princess? Maybe we should be a part of this council with your kin as far as the great good is concerned.
Yeah, maybe kind of maybe phrase it in the sense of, since we're already off to
Right.
rescue the princess, that maybe we might be able to help you awaken the sleeping good.
Mhm. As we did the River Athos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will end up interrupting the conversation with the sheik and the minstrel to say that perhaps,
We might be of service.
yeah, in the council with his kin in the matters of the great good.
All right. So
And
what
restoring
exactly?
it to the
What
links.
exactly are you saying in this public forum?
What do we call ourselves? Because it's hard to talk about. Be like myself, Fekish, the wizard, my brother, the cat.
You bring up a good point, but you can simplify it with my companions and I at this point, or
Okay. Okay.
the party with which I travel.
Oh no, the cat sounds pretty good too.
The kitty cat brigade.
The cat keepers.
Yes.
The association of cat.
Yes.
So yeah, you guys need to start thinking of a party name. You are developing enough renown at this point that either someone's going to give you a name or you better start donning one.
Yeah. So yeah, Varric will lift his hand up to just get attention and say
And
that my companions.
You quickly
and
earn that
I-
attention, both because of your size and the fact that everyone recognizes you at the moment.
Oh yeah.
And so
That
everyone
my-
quiets down.
My companions and I are already on the quest to save the princess and have awakened the River Athos, restoring life to the desert and restoring the great good to defeat the Ifrit is kind of part of the quest now. So that my companions and I should be involved in the council of the great good. I don't know what else to call it.
And the minstrel pipes up in a very melodic voice, though authoritative and what's that? Swaying. Indeed, it is as I suspected. These are the saviors that were prophesied by Martek 1,000 years ago. They are the ones that will bring about our salvation. And once again, lots of cheers, lots of hoes and hays and raised beer mugs and cries of, oh, great, problem solved. You guys will take care of it.
Oh, goody.
I'll just, as part of that, as he says that, and the huzzahs start, Varric will just cast Shield of Faith on himself, so he starts glowing a little bit.
Have it up, why don't you?
And the minstrel pulls out his lute, begins strumming it, and breaks into a song. Forgive my lack of harmony, but the lyrics are as follows.
No, please, no singing, Keith. I've heard you sing.
Like I said, forgive my lack of harmony, but the lyrics are as follows. When the evil walks our land again, will nomadic princes come to set his power into the first bride's hand, that good and evil then are met. Then will needs be 5-star gems see, to my tomb be born hither, and hope shall not wither. Open the gates to my sphere of power, and put off evil in its appointed hour. I will provide a copy of that in the campaign play section shortly.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know you would not let me forget that, Alex. And once again, I will remind that they all, some people actually join in the song after the first or second verse. Not a lot of them, but apparently there are a few people in the crowd who are familiar with the prophecy.
We've heard this song before, haven't we?
No.
No.
You've heard you've heard a relaying of the prophecy by oh boy, what was his name? 500 experience points for whoever remembers it before me.
It's
Aman
the Braille.
al-Rakib.
Yeah, Aman. That's what it was.
All right. So yeah, you were relayed the prophecy by Aman when you first arrived here. But and there was another song that was in that you guys did here in the coffee house down in Bralazar, but that was not the same song. Where is it? 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 Okay, there we go. And let's see, campaign play. All right. You should have the text there now. And with that, guys, if you don't mind, shoppers, I do want to think about what potions you're looking for so I can look them up. But let's take a 10-minute break and meet back here at the top of the hour.
Right up.
Very good.
All right.
Sounds
See
good.
ya.
For one reference for shopping, is there anything that could enable a bring back from dead or enable a speedier travel of some sort? Just thinking about that, whether it's potions or items or something like that.
I'll leave it up to the players to come up with potential solutions for that. Certainly, several of you know the 5th edition options better than I do. I can look them
Okay.
up, but yeah,
Very good.
I think it's better for the players to be creative in this regard.
Okay.
So, but yeah, in terms of specific potions being available is what I was looking for. All right, going to pause the video, the recording, and see you in about 10 minutes.
Sounds
All right, and now that we're back, first thing we're going to do is that you get some experience for discovering that song. All right, and Jim was the one talking about potions. So let's see, Jim and Varric, you were both shopping. So Matt, what's Varric looking for?
No, Haig is looking for.
Oh, that's right. Varric stuck behind with Fekish. Sorry.
I am keeping my eyes open. Something I thought about is if there's any sort of cartographer's map that we might be able to compare. So I'm going to keep my eye open for that. I don't know if I kept my eye open for it last time, but this time I'm looking for potions, specifically any level of healing, and seeing if they have any giant strength, speed, or mind reading.
All right. So as far as maps go, there are a few maps available that show the route of the Sand Voyager's path north of here, and does show the desert seems to be pretty extensive in that direction. You're probably about as close to the center of the Desert of Desolation as you possibly could be at the Oasis. So as much as you've covered south of here, there's at least as much north of here.
Okay.
However, the maps that you have of the Sand Voyagers trail seem to really only detail the area immediately around the trail and don't cover the majority of there's almost no detail in the open areas of the desert.
But at least to give me some perspective. So that's all right. I'm okay with that.
But basically the map that was handed out on July 23rd in campaign play. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's the old one. Oh, no, that's right. I did give you another, hold on. So let me make sure we share that one. Images, artworks, maps, power.
Okay, I'm back, but I'm driving my teen up to a friend's house, so I'll just be
Gotcha.
listening for a bit.
Not a problem. I don't think we'll need you to roll anything for the moment. All right, so this is the other map that you guys found in the library underneath the obelisk. Some of you should remember it.
Looks familiar.
Right.
Good Lord.
Dang it.
And let's see. So, and this is, you guys have all seen this map, so you don't necessarily have to all be present for this particular role.
There we go.
So you will also notice, or I should say Varric, Kaylee, and Fekish have also noticed hopefully you guys are all watching the shared screen at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And needless to say, someone screwed up on the map because the river path does not match up, but it should. But the shape of the map, obviously, those two belong together.
Yeah, I had already figured that part out. So as far as we can tell, we are at the sacred pool, and there is something of interest northish and something of interest west, slightly south, west southwest. What exactly those things of interest are, we have not yet determined.
Well, I will point out that you have done some translations on that lower map, which you actually even shared in the campaign play section.
Yeah.
So you do have a
Mhm.
translation for this.
Yes.
But this, I don't think you've had much information about so far. And I believe, Kaylee, you should be able to translate this one pretty easy.
Yeah, that says River Athos.
Yep. All right, so yeah, unfortunately, nothing more in terms of anything geographical that can help you. You probably have the best map in the area or of the area. Now, as far as the potions go. All right, let's see. So you are able to find at the potion vendor. He has several potions of greater healing available. That will run you, let's see. Holy crap. That's really strange.
Uh-oh.
All right, on a 100-sided die, I just rolled a 5, a 5, and a 4.
Oh,
Yeah. That would be a little steep.
okay then.
Which means that you actually find he's got a good stock of potions of greater healing. And he also happens to have a potion of fire giant strength, but just one.
Say that last part again.
Potion of fire giant strength, but just one.
Potion of fire giant strength.
Gives you a strength score of 25 for 1 hour.
That sounds right up Haig's alley.
I'm just thinking about what the totals are going to be, what he's going to charge.
2,500 gold for the potion, this potion of fire giant strength, and then 100 each for the potions of greater healing.
And how many?
Sorry, 200 each for those.
And how many does he have?
As many as you want.
Mark will take one of those potions.
You're real quiet, Maddie.
Take one of those potions of healing.
Potions of healing, greater healing. All right.
Yeah, what happened to your voice, Matt?
I stepped out to my garage real quick. I have to see what I have.
I would say if he has multiple of those potions of greater healing, pick up a few of them and stash them.
Yeah, I just have to.
Yeah,
like we're short
definitely
on-
everybody should get a couple of those.
Yeah, do 2 each and then probably at least 2 or 3 in stash.
I don't even know how much.
Well, let's see. You've got
I
2,234 gold pieces just in the parcel coins. So
Yeah,
that'll get you 11 of them right there.
Yeah.
And then okay, so hold on, because you've got enough election pieces. So let's see, that's going to
No,
be
I've got 4. Just to do, if you want to use the party stash, yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna start with that, what we can spend from there. So that's brings it down to 34 there, and then minus 400 there, and in return, that's going to give you. Whoops, come on.
The joys of being rich.
It does help for sure.
And I mean, on our characters, we should have a whole lot too. We had a whole bunch of platinum given to us, so I have 456 platinum just on my character.
And then I said 2,000 for the potion or 2,500.
2,500 for the giant strength.
Yeah,
Okay, so
2,500.
that's going to have to come out of someone's coinage.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm paying that. Too much.
Dark will.
How much does Redrith have in his coinage? Since I'm not on my computer, I don't even know.
Hold on, I will look.
I'll split you for it, Haig.
All right.
If I have the money. I don't know if I have the money,
You
but
have
if I do,
You have 83 platinum and 246 gold. Not much.
okay. Or maybe I won't.
As much as I appreciate it, let's save it. Let's save. Well, maybe we'll find.
Oh, let's see. Hold
Okay.
on.
I'll buy it.
Um,
I have 833 platinum. Bunch of gold, bunch of electrum.
well, Varric, you have 833 platinum.
Yeah.
So half of that would get you the potion.
Mhm.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
no, a
that's why I
little
said
more
I'll
than
buy
that.
it outright.
Not a little more.
He's willing to sell it to you for 400 platinum, considering you bought so many potions, healing potions.
Wait, it's 2,500 gold is
250 platinum.
250 platinum. Electrum is the only one that's divisible by 5.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, I always have done 5, so my mistake. Forget about 5th edition conversions.
Man, that guy was really trying to pull one over on the Goliaths like they were stupid. It's like, let's do all the maths here. 400.
Okay, Electrum I only treat as half of a gold piece.
That is correct.
That's
Okay.
correct, right?
All right, so but yeah, platinum is 10 gold inside 5th edition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you could easily buy 4 of them, but he only has 1.
Mhm.
So he's
I
willing to
buy it.
sell you. He's willing to sell it to you for 200 platinum.
Okay. For sure.
All right, so let's call up Varric. And I will pull your coin. And you get 1 potion of fire giant strength. All right, so shopping is done. Information gathering is done.
How many greater healings did we put in?
There's 12 in the party sheet now, so that's 2 for each of you.
Okay, I'll leave the 12 in there and take 2 myself. And purchase 2 for myself,
Okay, hold on a second.
just so we have backups, and then I have a couple of my own and then a bunch of backups.
How do I change how much gold I have or change the
I
total
already pulled it
platinum?
out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it didn't change.
It's in your inventory page at the very bottom. You just edit the columns the same way. And let's see, Redrith, you have 246 gold pieces, which leaves you at 46 after spending 200 on, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so that's, you get 1 for the 200, and then from your platinum pieces, take 40 from there, right? No, 20 from there.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's fine. You can definitely take some from Redrith's if needed.
Okay, and you have 2 potions of gold, greater healing, and I've taken out your coinage.
Very good.
All right. Was there anything else, Matt or Jim, that you guys wanted your character to see if they had?
You gave the potions to Haig?
I gave him the 1 potion. Oh no, I didn't give any potions to Haig. I gave the 1 potion of fire giant strength to Varric. And then the 12 potions of greater healing are in the party sheet. Someone's already claimed 1 of them.
Yep, and I'm gonna purchase 2 more with my own.
Which I
funds.
already did.
Okay.
So you have 2 in your inventory less the gold.
Oh. I don't see any changes on my sheet. That's why I was asking.
Oh, did I really do that? God damn it. Dan, I mixed you up with Jim. You two sound a lot alike sometimes.
Oh,
All right, so hold on. Let me transfer stuff over. Red dress.
The potions.
Okay, so Jim, did you or did you not buy some?
I said I will contribute money towards the purchasing of the 12. I didn't buy any separate aside from that.
Okay, no, we're good.
yeah, and the money that we already
I
technically
restored your
contributed together.
gold and I'm giving Haig the two additional potions.
I'll just have to represent myself in the third person. Hake will buy.
Sorry about that, guys. That was definitely
Right.
my faux pas. All right.
How do I take one of the potions out of the party sheet? Just add it.
Kayla, how does he take just one? It's like holding down a hotkey, isn't it?
If you want to take just one, you just drag the info blip. If you want to take the whole stack, you hold shift and drag the info blip.
Got it. I'm taking 2 potions. So everybody knows.
Can I take the wand of paralysis?
Yeah, you have access to arcane knowledge. I feel like
Oh,
that
I
would
can-
be,
I can spell cast.
yeah.
Does anybody care?
No, I think we were talking about that when you weren't here, that you having an ability to paralyze shit would be awesome.
Right. Yeah, I can
Oh, we have
spell
a
cast.
+2 shield.
There's a lot of stuff in there that you guys haven't claimed yet. A potion of gaseous form,
I saw that one too.
boots of elven kind, chainmail +1, mace +1. Yeah, the shield +2.
Got chainmail 2, I've got a mace +2. I could
About
definitely use
2,000 gold
gold.
worth of coin that still needs to be distributed. Actually, I can probably, I'm going to distribute that down. There we go.
Beckish, you got a chainmail +2?
Yeah,
Oh, I would love to take that.
well, I'm using it. I'm wearing it. If anybody doesn't want that shield, I'll take the shield.
Yeah, there's a +2 shield.
Maddie, you don't want the chainmail +1?
I mean, if there's chainmail in there, I didn't see chainmail.
There
I
is a
just
chain-
have, yeah, regular chain.
Yeah, there's chainmail +1 still in the party sheet.
Oh, well, yeah,
What's your current AC?
16. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
what is-
that's wrong. Because that's just the chainmail AC and I have defense fighting style. And then
If
something-
the defense fighting style is an effect on your combat tracker, then it won't show up on your character sheet.
Okay, okay,
But it will still be calculated.
cool. So yeah, I'll take chainmail.
Grant! Jeez and crow. You all done? Jeez. I think he gets the point.
And then I'll take my regular armor and how do I put that into?
I already
the
did it
party?
for you. You're up to
Oh, thank
17
you.
now.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Sweet.
All right, so we've done our shopping. You've done some information gathering. You've done some meditating and self-placating. So now at this point, to my understanding is that you're basically only waiting for the resurrection devices that Nadron said he was going to provide by nightfall. Other than
Mhm.
that, presumably, are we going to set off at nightfall? And if so, where?
Do we know where any more star gems are?
Other than around, not off the top of my head.
And don't we want to talk to the Sheik about awakening this greater good?
Correct.
Good point.
Yeah.
You'll
So
probably
we'll-
have to wait until later in the afternoon before the morning activities subside, and you will be able to get his attention.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll wait for that and
So
Go
who's
have a
going to go to
conversation.
that conversation? Are we going to have the full party there again?
Vark's going to go for sure.
Yeah, if the intent is that it's a private audience, then yes, Elohir will attend if somebody comes to get her and tell her that that is what we are doing.
Yeah, at this point, only Fekish and Varric are aware of the information that got disclosed through the song and the minstrels' protestations.
So if somebody
either or
comes
both
to
of you
get
going-
me,
Yeah, so either or both of you going to return to share that knowledge, or are you just going to hang out there until you have an opportunity to meet with the Sheik in more selective circumstance?
I would definitely go find Haig. And the
Round up the
wizard.
band.
Yeah, and see what's going on. And Varric has no idea where Kaoli is. Or the cat.
I think you guys were all aware they were going back to the tent.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, that's right. Kaoli went to go lie down at
No.
the Oasis, so you may not be findable.
we're not. Yeah, we didn't go to the tent. We went
to the
wandering,
Oasis.
looking for greenery.
Anybody got any message spells? Message?
Who's got the flare gun?
That signal.
I think I actually do have message.
Well, being
That-
on with
that would come in handy.
Kaoli, you just gotta shave, just shake a bag of cat food. I'll come running.
All right, so Jim, did I catch that right? Are you going to use a message to notify Ms. and or Kaoli? After Varric.
Sorry, I'm right in the process of dropping my daughter off and turning my car around. So
Okay, no problem. All
I'm,
right, so the way I understand it
yeah.
right now,
so yes, I will. Well, I'll burn a spell slot if I do that. Do we need to do that, or should we just go find them?
that could take a lot more time,
issue-
honestly.
Yeah, the issue is you guys don't know where I went. All you know
Yeah.
is that I left.
Send her a message. We
I guess-
won't need the spells. We'll be all right.
So, but obviously Matt and Varric and Fekish need to go find Haig and Redreth at the bazaar, because you do know that they were going shopping. And so you head over to the bazaar, you find them over there, you tell them what you heard, and then you guys start discussing about the other two, and they're like, well, we don't know where they are. Okay, let's just message them. And Redreth facilitates that. So does that all sound
Alrighty.
in agreement with
Mark
what
off-
everyone
I'll mark off
wants?
the appropriate spell slot when I get back to my computer.
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem.
And so
And
did
then-
I hear correctly? Was he going to provide something resurrection-y something?
Yes.
Nadron is.
Yes,
Awesome.
Alex, all I get for that one location in that other map above River Athos is Mendenat, and it means nothing to me. Do you get anything
Right.
different?
That's about what I got, and no, I don't recall anything ever hearing of that one.
We should ask
Doesn't
the
mean we
Sheik.
haven't. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, hopefully we will on this conversation with the Sheik about the awakening the whatever. Maybe it'll make more sense after that.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Is it, is everybody just quiet?
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
quiet. You're still hearing us. I'm just trying to find something. All right. So we're in agreement that everyone is going back to the Sheik's tent, correct?
Correct.
I believe
Sounds good.
so.
All right, so you have a chance to grab lunch beforehand, since the morning's activities are pretty much dominated by the trials of the slavers. And even so, there's still some activity until probably about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, when the sun is probably at its most intense. And the Sheik's advisor tells you that he needs to take a rest for a while, but asks you to come back just before dusk, at which time he will summon Nadron also, and hopefully will be able to help send you on your way. So you meet back at the Sheik's tent just before dusk. Nadron is there as expected, and the Sheik welcomes you in again with a little more of a reserved or concerning look on his hand. So he welcomes you into the tent and asks, "So what is it that I may do for you? Why do you come? What is it that you forgot to ask me earlier this day?"
Will you share with us the location of this greater good with the warriors of prophecy?
He looks to Nadron, who kind of turns away and averts his gaze. He then looks over to his eldest son, Hassan, who nods affirmatively. And then he looks back at you and says, "This is information that is only meant to be passed on to my heirs. But that being said, this information was meant to be provided to the prophesized ones. I do know that that there was a great good that was created by Martek, and it is meant to combat this. It took the minstrel to remind me of this knowledge which my father passed on to me when I was but a small boy. And unfortunately, in that time, perhaps much of that tale has been lost. But I do remember him speaking of, hold on, let me make sure I get it right. Don't want to give out any names prematurely, or wrong names especially. Okay. Though I do not know the nature of this good, I was told that it was held secure in the ancient city of Phoenix.
Do we know where
Where's
the
the
city of
ancient
Phoenix is?
city of Phoenix? Yes.
Just outside of Albuquerque.
Well, before you get to that point, apologies for my delays in confirming information. So as he mentions this, the lost city of Phoenix, he reaches up and begins clasping at the medallion that is around his neck, which you guys have noticed before. And with some hesitation, he pulls it from his breast and looks down at it, and then reaches behind and unclasps it and says to you, "The key to raising this good is supposedly within this amulet, but I cannot tell you how it works or what secrets it does reveal." And with that, he presents to you the amulet.
Ooh.
And my apologies, I really was hoping to have a chance to do something creative inside GIMP and make something that looked more consistent with the other artwork I've been doing, but I still got to work with metal textures and stuff inside GIMP, and I wasn't able to get quite the effect that I wanted. But this is what a close-up of the amulet looks like.
Okay. Honestly, it looks like half of something. Feet of Phoenix over something of Set. Something.
Yeah,
The
we
line
have
is salvation. There speak.
City of Phoenix over House of Set.
House of Set. I can't read the last two words.
Yeah.
Where sleeps
Yeah, where sleeps.
salvation. There speak. Maury? Need the rest of that to be sure. At Maury Fetno, possibly? And then there's one word that isn't in one of those semicircles that says white. I think we are missing pieces.
Right.
Are you saying this out loud?
I'm mumbling this as I inspect it.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
I
guess
want to
our
know how
character-
much the sheik is meant to hear what you're saying.
Oh. Well, he's been fairly on our side. He might be able to have more context if we do share it with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not really intended to hear it, but that doesn't mean he can't hear it. Although I'm probably mumbling in Elvish.
Which he does not speak.
Right. And yeah.
Well, actually,
just-
would you be speaking common words in Elvish or common writing in Elvish, or would you be actually speaking what you're seeing?
I would I would be
Your
speaking
thoughts
what I'm
about it,
seeing.
I'll accept are Elvish, but I would say your attempts
Yeah,
at
no,
translating are going to be
I would read it in the language that it's written, so in common. But thinking about it, and the part about I think this is only half, and we're missing pieces, we need more, are all in Elvish.
Okay, I will agree with that. This amulet has been passed down to my family for generations, and indeed it should go to Hassan, and indeed it should go to Hassan as soon as he is betrothed to his bride. But in the interest of the prophecy and the well-being of my people, I will pass this on to you with the understanding that you will return it to my son if at all possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds reasonable to me.
Of course.
Mhm.
For we do agree, if I understand you correctly, that this is only one part of a puzzle of which we do not know the other pieces. Perhaps you will find the key in Phoenix, perhaps you will find the key elsewhere, we do not know. But Phoenix was the capital city of the lost lands of Carthage, which in the past were believed to be located in the area northeast of here, beyond the mountains that ring this oasis. Correction, beyond the hills that ring this oasis.
So to the northeast.
And I think now is as good a time as any to
Mm.
refresh our memories about the area map.
Another odd question, would the air lancers be able to give us a Uber ride closer to our destination?
We
Speaking
would
of
be
fast
able
travel.
we would be able to transfer you up there, but they could not stay and wait for you to accomplish whatever your goals are. You would
Sure.
have to return on your own, and in which case we would not be able to carry the camels. So it would be a
Oh,
choice of
damn it.
how you would want to return.
Yeah, we probably should just do slow boat to China and take the camels with us.
And
Yeah.
Uber ride, that's
Mhm.
great.
Because we do love our camels.
Okay, so you can see on the overland map of what you have is exposed. You can see the oasis here. The river is slowly getting filled in. And you can see the pale white line that represents the riverbed, presume at least through what's visible on this map. It's all now filled with water. You are actually just kind of south of here in the green area. That's the oasis. And you can see here are the hills to which you may pass through or get around. The Sand Voyagers Trail circumnavigates it to the west and then north. There is suggestion that there is a trail through the mountains through this area here, but the way is very rocky, unforgiving, and exceedingly hot because of the darkness of the stone. So the Sheik and his advisors recommend that you follow the Sand Voyagers Trail around to the northern side of those hills if you decide to look for Phoenix.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're set up. Yeah, Ken.
Yeah. Sweet. So what is that? That's the direction out of the White Palm.
Now, they do express some concern, or the Sheik expresses some concern. Now, I do hope that the rescue of the Princess Shadala shall continue to be your top priority, but I cannot tell you if what you seek in Carthage will help or hinder your efforts to that regard. But it is my understanding that we currently believe she is being held in the crypt of Bada al-Mozak. I am not sure which is the most prudent direction of your initial.
And where is the crypt?
The crypt
The
is
crypt
on your map.
It's on the map. It's west southwest of here.
Which is closer?
As the crow flies,
Probably the crypt.
Carthage, absolutely. But given that you have to circumnavigate the
Oh.
mountains,
Yeah.
that's a tough call. You don't know how far the mountains extend or how much you're going to have to go around in order to come back over.
I would suggest that that if she is being held in the crypt by the evil that we released, then we are probably not fully equipped to take him on. So if we go to the crypt first, it will have to be a stealth mission, and if it goes sideways, then we could be in major trouble.
So we do a quick run down to the one place to then go backtrack to pick up the princess.
Yes.
That is one option.
Sounds like it'd be better
Yeah,
equipping ourselves
hard.
to do so.
Yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to know where we should go first. It seems like, yeah, it's really hard to know, because do we go towards him, or are we going too early, or do we go towards Phoenix, and is that too early? Or do we need to go to Phoenix first to be able to go to him? I don't know.
Potential star gem at Phoenix, and that gives us 5. We need 5 to.
You only have 3 so far.
Oh,
We got
3.
That would give,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that would
yeah,
give
we
us
still need
4.
a couple. Right.
People
Now,
don't forget.
You do
we-
interpret the preference of the sheik and his son. They want the princess
go
back,
The
particularly.
princess.
Right.
Mhm.
And they seem to be of the opinion that you may not have to defeat the Ifrit to rescue the princess, but they don't know that for sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We might be able to just infiltrate and pull away.
2 Goliaths and a Dragonborn.
So that is certainly their preference, but not necessarily the best option.
You know,
So are we going to rescue the princess first, or are we going to go by the same guideline we've been going by since the beginning of this campaign, where we've been following the song lyrics to lead
Right.
us?
And I am going to throw one more bit of consideration out there, and let me see who would be most appropriately picking up on this. This is going to be a hard one. Failure. Kaeli once again. Interesting, because this was a wisdom roll. All right, so one other thing that occurs to you in this discussion, Kaeli, is that the trip to Carthage may be for naught until you solve the riddle of the amulet. And that being said, the question is posed to you by your conscious mind. Well, what is the importance of the amulet?
Yeah. That is a good question.
Well, it's when you know the answer to.
Yeah.
Supposed to lock the
Oh no.
sleeping good.
And I bring this up only because it has been 6 weeks since we last played. But the amulet was part of the ritual that identifies the bride to be.
Okay.
It was when that amulet was passed on to the sheik's ancestor that the prophecy of the bride came to be.
Right. Right.
So it occurs to you that this whole thing about how the bride is chosen for this tribe is part of Martek's scheme or plan.
Right. The amulet, right, are linked.
Okay. So maybe we should go after her first.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm good
agree.
either way. It's hard
Let's
to
do
know.
it.
But under DM persuasion, maybe we should go get the bride first.
Let's try not to make it DM persuasion. The choice is yours.
or let's go TVK.
But I will
Ready?
point out, I think you guys know me well enough that I don't usually drop clues to screw you over.
Right.
Right.
We're pretty good about doing that ourselves.
Yes,
Yeah, we're very
you
good
have
at
that
screwing ourselves
capacity
over.
immensely.
Yeah, I'm gonna, in that case, I'm going to suggest that we go after the girl first, because it seems like if we find her, we may be able to, we will be that much closer to the rest of the amulet, to solving the puzzle of the amulet.
A side note, looking at that Metanot location, I also looked at the old map for character reference.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that we never went to the bottom right corner of that map where it says the Gates of Sioux.
Yeah, you did.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. We
So,
passed
yeah.
through that on our way up.
Okay, good. Okay, was just thinking of other locations because I wouldn't put it past this module to kind of put us on track for 4 of the gems and the last gem to be a kind of a hint or a clue that we missed.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't put it
gonna-
past the module either.
Okay,
You remember that?
I don't actually.
Yes, we have definitely been there.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it was a session that you missed, but yeah, you guys did go through that. Those leaning pillars are the gates of Sioux.
Wasn't that the one that we were wondering if you got cursed or something if you went through the gate?
Yeah,
Yep.
that was it because it had an inscription on it with a warning, and you guys decided to
Right.
ignore the warning. And to your knowledge,
shot.
nothing bad has happened as a result of it.
Yeah.
So we're going back to them. What I decided to P up against in cat form. Awesome.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So yeah, this was the inscription that you found on those pillars.
Translation is in ancient inscriptions somewhere.
Yeah, we're doing a pretty good job of keeping that cataloged.
Entry. What is that? Entry forbidden? No. No. Anyway.
Shall I refresh your memories?
Oh, I'm looking back. Well, I mean, if we've been there and it's not super important, I guess.
No, yeah, it's pretty much past. But yeah, the inscription which you guys did translate, the gates of Sioux curse thee who enter unbidden.
Unbidden. That's what it is.
So I think at this point you can safely presume that you were bidden.
I was gonna say, as I recall, we attempted to ask permission and make sure that, we attempted to appease whatever power might be controlling it, but we didn't know if we had succeeded or not.
And also, before I forget, Nadron does go ahead and hand you. The heck, where did they go? Oh, there. That ain't gonna work. That should work. There we go. 2 scrolls of raised dead.
Nice.
Which are now in your party.
Nice.
Cool.
It's not you.
What hap-
No, shall we?
What happened? I wasn't looking at. I'm not back to my computer yet. What happened?
Nadron gave you guys 2 scrolls of raised dead, of which you have 2 diamonds that you can use for the scroll. So that works out very well.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, basically you can restore 2 people to life at this point if necessary, with only 1 hit point, but it's enough.
Cool.
It's a saving grace.
That's what potions. That's what potions and healing spells are for.
Yep.
Potions and
exactly.
healing spells don't usually. Potions don't work if they're. Yeah, it works much better if they're actually alive when you attempt these things.
Only mostly dead, not all dead.
Yes.
So at this point, it is just shortly after 7 p.m. on the 16th of Eliant. You're fully rested. You are fully resupplied. Your camels have been restocked with food and water. And I believe we will proceed forth back into the desert and heading towards the crypt when we meet again in 2 weeks. Does that sound right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And yeah, we got 5
Yeah.
minutes left, but I think this is probably a good place to call it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a good stopping point.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys all enjoyed today. I know I definitely did. I think you guys revealed a lot of important stuff and managed to reinvigorate the storyline after a lot of hiatus. So hopefully you all agree.
Took care of some business.
Still got to deal with the evil underground when we get back.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah,
have
but
another
that's-
reason to come back here because he did ask for the amulet back if you can return it. So, hopefully at some point you will be able to come back and make that a separate thing. But I will say DM to players that is a separate adventure.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, that's okay.
Oh, it's just
That's
it's that.
okay. We can have more adventures.
Yes, you can.
Most
But-
certainly.
Current events definitely dictate other ones deserve your attention at the moment.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect.
Nah, kick off all the encounters at once.
I've
All right, so
I've
with
I've
that-
had groups do that. I've been in groups that have done that. It's not always fun. That's a recipe for TPK.
So with that, we end off session 53. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more adventuring and maybe some combat into next session. And that is going to be on the 1st of October.
Cool.
All right.
Excellent.
Ooh. Nice.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you all again for showing back up. I really appreciate it. And as always, I had a blast with you guys. Love playing with you and looking forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.